Praise the Lord. God is good.
Amen.
Well, it's a blessing to be back again. Praise the Lord. My wife and I was north, and thank God for bringing us back home. Because this is home for us.
Amen.
Well, I'm happy tonight. I got a few things I want to share with you that the Lord has blessed me with. I wanted to, sometimes you want to preach something, and God is directing you to preach something else. But I also want to invite you Sunday. I'm going to be at Pastor Reed's Church in Denham Springs, Intensive Care Ministry, this Sunday coming at 8:30 to preach a sermon that I really wanted to preach here. But the Lord said it was for there. And this is a sermon He wants me to preach here tonight. And so I'm always asking the Lord and praying for His direction. Not my will, but His will be done. Because I have a mind and I have things that I want to do, but the most important thing is I want the will of God. And the Lord, I'm convinced tonight, wants me to speak on this. And so I'm going to continue with what I started last Wednesday night, and it talks about change. The title of this message tonight is It's Time for a Change. Change, when we look at it, is the term we use is called metamorphosis when we deal with the animal kingdom. I'm going to read two scriptures tonight. I'm going to share with you Romans the 12th chapter, verses 2 through 3, which you should be familiar with. And I'm also going to share with you 2 Corinthians the 11th chapter, verses 12 through 15. And the Lord has shared with me that it's important for the church and for us to change, because if you don't change, you're going to get caught off guard. And I'm going to share with you tonight what's going to happen if you don't change. Amen. And so I want you to turn with me to the book of Romans. I'm going to ask you to stand to read the first scripture, and you can be seated on the second one. And then I'm going to tell you a short story, and I'll be done. Romans 12, verses 2 through 3. I want you to start reading with me at the second verse. If everybody got it, say amen. Amen. Scripture says, and, come on.
Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
For I say,
The grace is given to me, to every man that's among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith.
All right, God bless you. You can see it. Now, 2 Corinthians is found after the book of Romans. You have Romans, you have 1 Corinthians, the next book. Then it's 2 Corinthians. Now I want you to turn to 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, verses 12 through 15. And I'm going to read this, and I'll start ministering here. When we read in Romans, it talked about, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It says, don't be conformed. The word conform means to be shaped by this world. But be ye transformed. That word transform means to change.
Yes.
And the way you change is not by what you dress, what you drive, where you live, and what you eat.
Amen.
The way you change is by the renewing of your mind.
Amen.
Change has to take place on a person's mind before it takes place anywhere else.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
You can put on new clothes and be the same person.
Amen.
You can drive a new car and be the same person.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a new home and be the same person.
Oh, yeah.
But you can change your mind and be changed whether you have a car, whether you have clothes, whether you have money or anything else, because change starts in your mind. Anything you're going to accomplish in this life for God, you got to first start with your mind. Now tonight I'm going to share with you why it's important for you to be transformed. Go to 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, in the 12th verse. Now when you get there, say amen.
Amen.
Amen. If you're not there, say, Pastor, wait a minute. All right, 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, and the 12th verse. I'm going to read. But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that when they glory, they may be found even as we. 13th verse. For such are false apostles. Say false apostles.
False apostles.
Deceitful workers. Say deceitful workers.
Deceitful workers.
Transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. I want you to think about that for a minute. He's writing and he's saying that there are going to be false apostles. There are going to be deceitful workers. Now this is in the church, not out of the church. Transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ.
Yes.
In other words, they're deceitful, they are false, but they are able to transform themselves into apostles of Christ. Now, isn't that interesting? Now look at the 15th verse. 14th verse. And no marvel. In other words, don't be surprised. For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Come on.
How powerful is that? The Bible says, don't marvel. In other words, don't even be surprised that the devil himself is able to transform himself into an angel of light.
Yes.
Well, look at the 15th verse. After he transformed himself into angel light, look what he's going to do. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. Amen. Now, tonight you'll see why the Lord wants me to preach this message. Because I didn't until I start understanding that scripture. That scripture's been there all the time. I've read it, I don't know how many times. But it just came true to me as I was praying today. God is saying, if you don't change and transform yourself, you're going to be caught off. Because the evil one is able to transform himself from darkness to light. Then he takes his power and put on his ministers so they appear to be righteous and they transform themselves. Well, if God hasn't changed me, I'm not going to be able to recognize the change from the enemy. That's one thing about the devil. He can talk right, but he can't live right. He can say the right thing, but he can't do the right thing. See, you know you've been changed when you're not like you used to be. In other words, the things that used to get you mad and make you cuss. Anybody know what I'm talking about? When you have been transformed, that same thing comes to you. And now, instead of you cussing, you praise God. Because you say, I see the devil coming. That same thing that used to bother me, it can't bother me anymore. The same people that would make me mad, now I'm praising God. Because I'm able to see that angel of light that has changed himself. And I know it's the devil. I know it's the devil. In other words, when you have grown to a certain place in God, you can see the devil coming. Before it caught you off guard, and you didn't know it, before you know it, you was into sin. But because you have been transformed by the renewing of your mind, you see the devil coming. And before he can do anything, you already praising the Lord. You already blessing the name of the Lord. Why? Because God, you've seen me. You allowed me to see the devil come and change himself into an angel of light. You see, it's important for us to transform. Because if you don't transform, Corinthians says that the devil is able to transform himself. So if you don't change, mind.
Oh, yeah.
To transform that mind in you. You can listen to people talk and go, oh no, that ain't God.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't God. But all of a sudden when you've been transformed, you can say, I can feel the presence and the power of God down inside of me, witnessing to what they're saying and what they're talking about. See, change, transform means two things. It means to change and it means to disguise. It means to change and it also means to disguise. Now what God is telling you in Romans, the 12th chapter, he wants us to change.
Oh, yeah.
But what the devil is doing in the next book, in 2 Corinthians, he's not changing. He's disguising himself.
Oh, yeah.
So transform means to change, and it also means to disguise. Now when you disguise yourself, you put on a mask, which means I look like this to you.
Yeah.
But when I take the mask off, this is the real person.
Oh, yeah.
God don't want us to have a disguise on or a mask on.
Oh, yeah.
He wants us to be real.
Oh, yeah.
Real in our walk, real in our talk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When God has brought you from somewhere, it's time to be real with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I listen to Miller Jackson, he's saying, you know, his best days are behind him, or so forth and so on. We all have lived a long time. I don't want to play with God. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
I want to get it right.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me tell you something. When you die, you don't get a second chance. You're going to be judged by what you did while you were here. There is no purgatory. Amen? Whatever you do here, that's your life.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you a story. And it's the story of a butterfly. And I can't think of any other insect that goes through a metamorphosis more so than a butterfly. But I'm going to start in the middle of a story and I'm going to back up. This little girl was outside with her dad. And she happened to see this cocoon that was hanging on the tree. And it was a small cocoon. And she seen this insect inside of this cocoon. And so she didn't say anything to her dad. Being a child and not understanding, she ran quickly to this cocoon because she seen this worm inside and she felt like, I'm going to help this worm out. And so immediately she opened the cocoon. And so this worm that was trying to be a butterfly fell out. And she felt like I had released him and I have done something good. But it fell on the ground and died. And so her dad come up and she was crying. And she said, Dad, I tried to do good. What happened? I freed this butterfly from this cocoon. But it fell on the ground and died. And she said, Daughter, he said, daughter, you meant well. But the way God designed this insect, he had to stay inside of this cocoon until he was ready to come out. What you've done is you freed him in your mind, but you halted his development. You see, by opening the cocoon, he wasn't ready yet to come out and fly. His wings were not prepared, so he fell to the ground and died. So you halted his development. The way God created him, he meant for him to stay there. Well, when you think about it, there are 4 stages to a butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start with this first stage. He starts off as an egg. If you ever look at a plant, there's this little white speck sometime on the plant. And this oval shape, that's the egg for all butterflies. Start off just as an egg. It don't look like nothing. Matter of fact, some people have to put it on a microscope just to see it. But the Bible says to despise not the day of small things. Just because something looks small, it doesn't mean it's going to always be small. Because God is in small things. You know, a lot of times people want big things. And they want to start off big. But let me tell you something. If you start off small and God is with you, that's all right. See, you got to crawl sometime
Yes.
before you walk.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta walk sometime before you run.
Yeah.
Some people want to start off running, but it's not like that all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So a butterfly starts off as a small little white spot on a leaf of a tree.
Yes.
But you know what? It doesn't bother the butterfly at all, because he knows I'm just in the early stage of my life. You know, sometimes you need to be able to tell the devil that.
Yes.
You know, you might be small in some areas. You need to just tell the devil, look, I'm just in my early stage.
Oh, yeah.
You ought to see what I'm going to be in the end.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just starting off.
Yeah.
You ought to see what God says. I'm not going to always be this little spot. I'm not going to always be this little egg. Because God has got plans for me.
Oh, yeah.
How many believe that tonight? That God has got plans. You may seem small. What you may be doing may be small. But I tell you what, my God has got big plans for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you'll just remain faithful in God, God can take small things and make them large.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the butterfly is not discouraged. You know what they said, scientists said? They look at a bumblebee based on his wingspan and the size of his body. He is not supposed to be able to fly. His wingspan is not large enough for the size of his body. Bumblebees are bottom heavy. Ain't that right? They got a big body. And so scientists say they should not be able to fly. But guess what? They fly.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? They don't listen to the science. They fly. Scientists have never been able to talk to a bumblebee and tell him, you can't fly. Well, my point is this. You got to be listening to the right thing. Amen. You ought to be flying. Don't think from your side. You ought to be flying. I get through tonight. I want some people in here flying. We're going to go from an egg to a butterfly. And butterflies fly. Their first name is butter, but their last name is fly. When they start off, they don't start off flying. They start off as a small spot. I've seen things small grow into something big. And so you should never despise yourself being small. Never despise something God gives you to do that seems so small and insignificant. If God is in it and God's anointing is there, God is going to take you from small to big. That's why the Bible says in the end, God will say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over what? A few things. And now I'm going to make you ruler over many. That means everything with God starts small and then it grows. You know why God don't let you start big? Because you'll think it's you. But when you start small and grow big, you know only God could have brought me from the field to where I'm living in now. Only God could have took me from the bar to where I am now. Only God could have stopped me from doing what I was doing to bring me to where I am now. You see, God uses broken vessels. God never uses perfect vessels. When it comes to mankind, He uses broken vessels. That's why your life can all be all jacked up. You think you could have done the worst things in the world. And you know what? God can reach down right where you are and transform you, transform your mind. Let me tell you something. We're going to have church one day. Because one day God is going to empty the ballroom. He's going to empty the crack house. He's going to empty the whorehouse. People out there, they're going to get a hold of this word. And they're going to see how good God is. And they're going to take off running with this gospel. And they're going to beat us if we don't step out. Let me tell you something. When you read the roll call of faith, you will find not only Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob there, but you will find a woman that's named Rahab. Rahab was nothing but a prostitute. She made her living on her back. But let me tell you, one day she met the man of God with Joshua in him. God changed that woman's mind.
Yeah.
Not only did he change her mind, her whole family was saved based on the life she lived.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. God can pull you right from where you are
Oh, yes. Yeah.
and make you what he wants you to be.
Oh, yeah.
But it starts with the transforming of your mind.
Yeah.
So a butterfly starts off as this little small white spot. Seems insignificant. I guarantee you, you pass by every day with trees and plants in your yard and you never even think about it. But all the time, that egg is there, waiting for the season for it to develop.
Yes, yeah.
And then it goes from that into what we call a larva, which is L-A-R-V-A. All a larva is in a butterfly is a caterpillar. We see them all the time. It's the most sickening thing you want to see.
Yeah.
There's nothing but a worm, a hairy worm crawling around. Most of the time we see them, we pluck them, trying to get rid of them. But what's important about a caterpillar is this. He grows 30,000 times greater in that stage than any other time. What God is doing to that caterpillar, he's putting everything inside of him to fly. Now when you see a caterpillar, you don't see nothing but little legs. You don't see any wings at all. Am I correct?
Right.
He's just a worm crawling around.
Yeah.
And with your natural eye, you're going, how in the world he gonna ever fly? Because all he got is just legs to crawl. He's just a worm. But inside his DNA is flight.
Yes.
I ain't gonna be crawling all my life. I'm crawling now, but I ain't gonna be crawling all my life.
Oh, yeah.
I'm crawling now,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be crawling all my life.
Oh, yeah.
And inside of that caterpillar already is the DNA to fly one day.
Yes.
But you know what? He doesn't allow his ugliness and what he looks like to determine where he's going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can't worry about what you look like.
Oh, yeah.
What you need to worry about, what's inside of me,
Oh, yeah.
what's in my DNA, what am I conceived in the end? Not in the beginning, but in the end. Am I getting anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Amen. Is this message for us?
Oh, yeah.
So in this stage, when he is a caterpillar, he gets all he needs to fly. But you can't see his wings. But inside of him, the DNA is there to make the wings one day.
Yes.
Do you realize everything you want from God, everything you need from God, once God saves you, baptizes you with your spirit, transforms your mind, it's already in you.
Oh, yeah.
It's already in you. When Jesus was on the cross, he gave up the ghost. The last thing he said, it is finished.
Yeah.
In other words, I finished it.
Uh-huh.
Everything that man needs is in them.
Yeah.
But what holds us back is we look at ourselves like the caterpillar. We're ugly and we're crawling around. We don't have the ability to fly. My God, but God is saying, I already placed it. It's already. You might be crawling now, but my intent is for you to fly.
Oh, yeah.
You're just crawling, but one day you're going to fly.
Oh, yeah.
But the devil's desire is for you to look at yourself as just being this worm, a caterpillar. My life is all messed up. It's all jacked up. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. I'm going to be living like this for the rest of my life. I'm going to be living in the place I'm living in for the rest of my life. This is all I'm going to ever have. That's what he wants you to see. But you need to say, I don't have what I'm going to get yet. Come on. Can everybody say yet?
Yes.
In other words, you need to start saying yet. In other words, I know God is going to bless me.
Oh, yeah.
I may not have the house yet. I may not have the car yet. I may not have the job yet. I may not have the degree yet. That means, that yet means I'm going to get it. And so here I am as a caterpillar.
Yeah.
I ain't flying yet, but I am gonna fly. I'm just crawling as a caterpillar. Because guess what? What God is doing is placing in me what I need. And so he needs me to crawl a little bit so he can fill me up with everything I need. So when the time comes to fly, I ain't got to look to the left or to the right. I just got to look in me. Lord, it's down in me. Point to yourself tonight. It's down in me. Lord, it's down in me. Everything I need is down in me. Man, that's what you need to get up in the morning. Believing to yourself, speaking to yourself that it's down in me. What I need, Lord, is down in me. What it's going to take to get me through is down in me. What it's going to take to get me over is down in me. So he goes from the egg, then he goes to this caterpillar where he's just crawling around. But as he's crawling, he's eating and he's growing. And all the time, God is putting everything in him in this growth to prepare for him to fly one day. But with the natural eyes, all we see is a worm. And we're saying, he ain't gonna fly. That's the ugliest thing I ever seen. He's not gonna fly. But guess what? While he's in that stage and he's growing, his skin keeps changing. Keeps changing. And every time he grows a new skin, God allows air to get in that skin. In other words, a caterpillar's skin is larger than his body. In other words, between his body and the outer skin is an air sac. The reason God has got that air in there is because the caterpillar is going to grow into his skin. His skin is larger than he is. But God already knows what he's going to be. So he makes the skin larger so the caterpillar can grow in it. But I'm telling you tonight, God knows you're larger than what you are. Your spirit man is bigger than what you are. It's bigger than what you see. Lord, if you could just see how large you are in God's eyesight. If you could just see how big you are in God's eyesight. See, what the devil wants you to do is to keep looking at your failures, to keep looking at your past, to keep looking backwards. God is saying, don't look backwards. The caterpillar never looks back at where he's coming from. He keeps growing, and he keeps growing in his skin. You got to grow tonight. Everything that doesn't grow, dies. Everything that doesn't grow, dies. I don't want to die tonight. I plan to grow. Please stand here, grab this building. That means you will grow. Who's going to grow tonight? I said, who's going to grow tonight? So this caterpillar, even though he's a worm, he's now in what they call a growth stage. In other words, you got to get in a stage where you're hungry for the word. See, let me tell you something. You might be sitting here now, but you're getting this word down inside of you. So when you do take off, you got everything you need inside of you. Stay up! Some people take off too fast and they're not ready. They don't have what they need to sustain them. But oh, when you settle under the word and the word gets inside of you, you're rooted and grounded in the truth. So when you do get where you need to get, let me tell you something. When God does bless you with the ministry he has for you, when he does bless you with the house he has for you, when he does bless you with the car he has for you, when he does bless you with the money he has for you, you're going to be so grounded in the things of God, it's not going to phase you. Amen. You're going to be able to hold on to what you got and able to multiply what God has given you. The devil won't be able to take it from you.
Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah.
God, I feel like Amen. The Bible says he comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But Jesus said, I come that you may have life. God, if I got to
I'm gonna fly.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah.
When Jacob met Pharaoh for the first time, he told him, my life has been hard. And for the most of my life, I've had nothing but trouble. But you know, Jacob's life in the last 17 years of his life, he got more than he had in the first 100 and something of his years. I'm here tonight to tell you your latter end is going to be greater than your beginning. Greater than your beginning. Greater than your beginning. God is going to do a quick work. He's going to redeem the time. It doesn't take God long to do anything. All he needs to do is blow on your All he needs to do is blow on your mind. You'll come up with an idea.